Star Trek Starfleet Academy Season 1 Episode 4 Review. Keep Calm and Klingon. By author Diana Kang. There are very few, nearly everyday activities in life that are quite as debilitatingly terrifying as public speaking. On Star Trek Starfleet Academy Season 1 Episode 4, Vox in Excelso, Cadet Crag faces the ordeal in order to speak truth to Power and his peers. And what is this truth? It is that saving the Klingons from extinction without respecting their right to live according to their cultural identity would be tantamount to enslavement or genocide. Trek exists to mirror society and question accepted norms. Seeing non-Klingons debate and propose paths for the future of the Klingon diaspora in cold, calculated terms strikes close to home in our current climate of invasion and occupation. To be fair, the debaters are only fulfilling their course requirement with zeal and gusto. But that also feels terribly wrong. For Darum, Genesis, Sam, Caleb, and the other students, the debate is an intellectual exercise rooted in their understanding of the Federation's laws. Whichever way the Doctor rules on the debate, the reality of the Klingon plight will never touch them. Jaden must not only overcome his natural panic at the podium, but he must also argue for the Klingons' right to live, and possibly die, as they choose. All this with the knowledge that he turned his back on his own family's expectations for him. Jaden's backstory has been largely abstract up to this point. While we know a lot, possibly too much, about Caleb, and a bit about Sam, Genesis, and Darum's pre-academy life, we've only learned that Jaden is a Klingon who wants to heal and that he likes antique Federation tech. The first impression he makes is in answering Thok's question upon arriving at the Academy. On the Star Trek Starfleet Academy premiere, "Kids these days," she asks, "why do you not yearn for the honor of a valiant death in battle like the rest of our kind?" After a momentary and understandable hesitation, he replies, "Because I yearn for a valiant life." It's a question he's clearly pondered. As we witness his interactions with his family through his memories, the conflict between his love for them and his need to pursue a different path is apparent. Someone put a lot of thought into the title, Vox in Excelso, while the direct translation from Latin is simply a voice from on high. The connotation of the phrase is far less transcendental. Historically, our history, not Trek's canon, the Vox in Excelso was a papal bull issued by Pope Clement V in 1312, an order that stripped the Knights Templar of their protections, mandates, and privileges, effectively dissolving the order and ending their way of life. Without the things that defined them as a collective, the warrior monks who had protected pilgrims to the Holy Land were no longer the Knights Templar, even if they survived the order's downfall. The parallel on Starfleet Academy's Vox in Excelso is to the Klingons who survived the burn destroying their home planet of Kunas. They are, in effect, nomads, but keep alive their identity as hunters and warriors, carrying the spirit of Kunos with them wherever they go. The basis of Jaden's argument against the Federation giving aid to the Klingons in the form of a new homeworld is that accepting charity like that, living on land freely given out of pity, would undermine the last vestiges of Klingon pride. Forcing Klingons to live on a planet as asylum, no matter how perfectly suited to the population, using the Federation's voice on high, its military, technological, and economic might, would drive the Klingon spirit into extinction. The solution comes to Jaden when Thok reinterprets what he thought was his family's rejection. She reminds him that his father honored the hunt above all else. When Jaden's determination to follow his path overwhelmed his father's desire for a like-minded heir, he conceded by missing his shot and set Jaden free to go to the Academy. Thok explains that what he saw as his family's abandonment was actually their acknowledgement that he was the greater warrior. This calms the dissonance in Jaden and lights the fire of his debate. The Federation stops being the Federation if it insists Klingons stop being Klingons. These are not mutually exclusive. Both exist in me. I exist as both on my own terms. Now, it is time we meet Klingons on theirs. Cadet Jaden Crag, of course. The Fan Alpha plan could work without an inside man Klingon. Ake's history with General Wokak is key to selling the declaration of war. The general has learned how to read a room well in his century of experience. Their clandestine, yet sanctioned, assignation provides us with yet another facet of Ake's personality. Impish and flirty, she delights in Wokak's company even as she despairs at convincing him to accept the Federation's offer. Ultimately, Jaden provides a Klingon solution to the Klingon problem. Make it a fight. Earlier, Wokak laid it out clearly to Ake over Bloodwine. The Klingons will only unite over conquest. She did tear him then. Jaden had to be the one